Hello, fellow graduates. Today we celebrate obtaining a degree from one of the top universities in the entire world. Congratulations. Before getting to the pomp and circumstances of our collective achievements, I too would like to take a moment to celebrate and acknowledge Ano as she ends her tenure as our dean. Ano made an academic career studying entrepreneurs and innovation, so it is hardly surprising she herself exhibits these same qualities and brought them here to the iSchool academic community. We have been so lucky to have her. Thank you so much, Ano. Today I'm going to reflect on two themes: perseverance and gratitude. Completing a Ph.D. is akin to running a marathon, except you run one after another for 5 or 6 years, and then you reach a mountain, and then you climb that. Every Ph.D. journey is different, but one thing all Ph.D.s have in common is that you learn to rapidly adapt to challenges both unexpected and perfunctory. I imagine similar to what you all faced during your master's, except a bit more protracted. We become expert problem solvers and adapters. My colleagues here with me today, Raza and Neil, are no exceptions. They changed schools midway through and joined our community in 2016. This sudden change of path undoubtedly came with challenges, but we were so lucky to have them come here with us. Every PhD in this room knows how individually hard it is to complete this journey. This is the tacit understanding that all PhDs share. One thing I learned throughout this very long process is an unintuitive truth. Often when you feel your most helpless and disenfranchised, you are actually your most powerful self. This is true both for us personally, as well as when we gaze around the world and identify the many inequalities and injustices before us. I believe there is a special kind of power that can only come from feeling like we've hit rock bottom. It is only from this place that we can catalyze the type of real change in our lives and society that comes with great risk and persistent action. In these times, it's hard to know where to start. One of my favorite writers once wrote that sometimes all you know is a resounding "not this." Beginning with this simple acknowledgement sometimes is the only thing that you know for sure, is that the status quo is unacceptable. It is a surprisingly formidable yet simple place to begin. As iSchoolers, we study and confront difficult truths about our world, the collision between technology, society, and the people behind the data. These tussles come with great consequences, those from the past, some on this morning's New York Times, and some that we see manifesting in our future. We hold interdisciplinary skills and deep expertise unmatched by our colleagues in other disciplines. We are trained to see and address the great promise and perils of technology. This is why we as Berkeley iSchoolers are exactly what the world needs right now, even if the only place to begin is a "not this." This is a process we will continually cycle through for the rest of our lives and careers. And I stand before you today knowing every single person in this audience is capable and empowered to do the job before us, even when you can't help but feel powerless below the magnitude of the circumstances. We are all brave enough to face the challenges ahead, and walking across this stage today is evidence enough. To get to this point, we've all made individual sacrifices and taken risks. Our MIDS students often worked while completing their degrees online, and our MIMS made big life adjustments to return to graduate school. We should be tremendously proud of ourselves, but also none of us got here alone. I knew this part would get me. Looking around this audience, I see proud families, partners, friends, and colleagues. Looking into our respective paths, I see a network of educators and mentors starting in our childhoods who made this path possible for each of us many years ago. During the hardest moments of this PhD, one of the most humbling and powerful realizations was when I paused long enough to look around me and recognize who was still in my life, even when it wasn't particularly glamorous or Instagrammable. This is a gift from our challenging times. And inevitably, when we stumble into our next life transition or slide back into places where we feel vulnerable and lost, look around you. The people there may not always be the people you expected, but take a moment to appreciate the persistent helpers in your life. There are several people in this audience and on this stage without whom I wouldn't be standing before you today. You all know who you are, and I am so deeply thankful each of you is in my life. This has been quite an adventure as a Golden Bear, and I know we will all take a little piece of Berkeley with us wherever we go. Thank you and congratulations.